Hi guys, and welcome to Tuesday episodes. My name is Tiane and I help parents to have happy, healthy lives by using natural products, pay less medical fees, and ultimately create a life that you love. So in today's episode, I would like to discuss something with you guys that is very close to home and very dear to my heart, and that is to help kids that have texture issues with food. And there's actually a medical diagnosis for that, which is called a Speedy sensory processing disorder, and that is actually due to an imbalance in the brain, and it can be related to any of your five senses, not just to the mouth area or to texture issues, with touching and eating, etc. So in today's episode, I would like to focus just on the one part of the senses, and this can be for any child that have texture issues with food, but specifically also for parents that have children that was born with a cleft palate. And I specifically want to mention that because my boy was born with a cleft palate and I was also born with a cleft palate, and I know the struggles that my parents had with me and what we as a family had with my little boy. He's 3 years old now, and there's nothing wrong with his eating at this stage. He likes sweets a lot, so that is something that I need to work on. But other than that, he's a normal boy and all of his issues are sorted now. He has been through all his operations. There's no need for any more operations at this stage. Yes, and he had his first operation at 7 months. So today I would like to give you guys 4 secret tips or strategies that you can implement on a weekly basis, that is guaranteed to improve your child's eating habits. And this is not just for babies or toddlers that was born with a cleft palate, but for any child that is having sensory issues. So the first thing I would like to mention to you guys is to start with the hands. You think the issue is in the mouth, that you need to start there, but no. Start with different textures with his hands. So let him play with any type of different textures, slimy stuff, um, some wool that you wet. That is something that's very squeaky. That can also help. Take Jello, the powder of Jello, into a plate and let him play with the Jello. That is kind of like a salt, the texture of salt. So yeah, with your shaving gel, even your shaving gel, the dads, give him that on his hands to start playing with that, and do that for a week or two and let him play with that, and then you can go into the next step, which is now you start with the mouth. Not food yet, but only different textures in the mouth. An electric toothbrush, any different textured toys that he can put in his mouth that he can chew on. Ice. I'm just trying to think of different examples now. You can even take his toothbrush and perhaps put it in the Jello powder and start massaging his mouth. And it's very important that you do the cheeks as well, not just the teeth, but the cheeks and the tongue as well. That the different types of texture have to be on the tongue as well. Then you can go into different types of food. So sorry, let me just stop there. So these two items that I've given you guys, or these two tips that I've given you guys, use that over a period of a month. Perhaps maybe the first tip in 2 weeks, and then you go over to the next one in the next 2 weeks, and then you can start with the next weekly activity, which is the current food that your child is eating now and just change that in different flavors and different sizes. So for example, your child is eating some dry cereal, and then try and change the flavors of the cereal from chocolate to honey or whatever is available at the supermarket, and then even different sizes. You get the small the Rice Krispies, and then the bigger ones, the chocolate balls. I'm not too sure what that cereal is called, but then just try different shapes and sizes of the cereal. And then when that has been successful, then you can go over to the next step. And that is by alternating food in different texture sizes or different texture examples, if that's the right word. So for example, now you start with something that is crunchy and something that is soft. So give him one bite of something crunchy and then one bite of something that is soft. So you are alternating the food options now for your child. So you can do that with hard and soft, crunchy, soft, slimy and crunchy, or whatever two different textures you can think of. You can try doing that. And then once you have done that 4 steps, then it's up to you to decide what was the progress that your child has made and if any next step is needed. And then you can go to Google and see what other types of different steps you can also implement. But basically when I got to step 4, then I could really see an improvement in my child's eating habits, and I didn't need to implement any more strategies. And then one thing that I would like to mention to you guys is, and this is specifically pertaining to babies that was born with a cleft palate, is that they don't have any muscle control due to the lack of sucking during their first few months up until their operation. So due to the lack of sucking, their muscle control is not that good, and that also have an effect on their eating habits. So just 2 tips that you guys can implement at home for your cleft palate babies to help them to improve their muscle control is start using straws, so that they could use a straw to drink water or juice or whatever. And then you can also use a straw in a glass of water, and then blow on the straw so that they can start making bubbles in the water. So it's very important that they learn to suck and to blow, and you can use a straw to help you with that. And then something that I wish I knew 3 years back is there's also supplements on the market that you can also use for your child to help with the communication between the brain and the senses. And that is the glyconutrients. So the glyconutrients consist of the 8 monosaccharides, and the 8 monosaccharides focuses on the cell-to-cell communication and the body. Because your sensory issues is a medical diagnosis, and which is actually an imbalance in the brain, these glyconutrients can actually help with that imbalance and to improve the imbalance and to actually speed up the process of what you are trying to achieve now. I can really recommend that. And then one last thing I would like to mention to you guys, and that's some bonus information that I want to give you. And this is actually just pertaining to cleft palate babies, and this is something that I didn't knew and that my parents didn't knew, is that whenever you as a parent decide that you need to remove the tonsils of your baby, never ever ever, and I want to repeat that, never ever ever take out the adenoids. Because if you take out the adenoids, then the space in your mouth is too much. I don't know how to explain it. And then there's too much free flow in the mouth when you do the pronunciation of words and specific symbols. And that causes a nasal sound. And that's something that I struggle with. My adenoids was removed. The doctors did not know at that stage that they shouldn't do that. So please keep that in mind when you ever consider removing your child's tonsils. And for today, that's about it. Please go check out my website and my YouTube channel for more information on Happy Healthy Life. Subscribe and you will also receive a bonus material. And then it was nice chatting to you guys. Please share this video with any other parents or moms that you know that might benefit from this. And then stay tuned for the next episode. You should have a nice week. Bye-bye.